Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. Another day, another Henry. This one, Henry, you got a code on him somewhere? Sometimes it's in here. HVR 222. It's got a high-low switch, 1000 watt regular motor, and then up to 1200 watts. It's a Henry. I've plugged it in. It's plugged in. Nothing on the switch. Just turn it on and show you that. Nothing on that switch either. Unplug it. I wonder if it's something to do with the ring, because it sounds a bit ropey whenever you wind it up. That's the first thing. So I don't think there's power getting to the switch, and if there is, there might be something else wrong with it, but let's start there. I'll take these screws out and we'll go on. There's 7 of them. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 around the edge. So I only need the 4 around the edge to come out to get the top off, I think. So let's try that. Okay, there we go. And then this cassette should lift out. The contacts in there look okay. The rings look okay, so I'm not sure that that's what it was. So let's get this side off. This little plastic side on here. Screwdriver, just pop it off. Like that. There's the switch. It looks perhaps a little bit damp in there, or like it was damp in the past. So what I'm going to do is see if there's power coming to it. Now that I'm in, I just wonder, is it a fuse issue? That's live. Get the meter on it, look for voltage, AC. It's getting 0 there. Of course I'm getting 0. What am I doing at all? Checking it without the bloody cassette on it. Right, okay. I don't know which one's which, so let's just check. Yeah, there's 240 coming to the contacts in there. So that's running okay. So let's turn that off. What was I doing there? Let's go for continuity down here. So, I don't know which one's which. Getting continuity on the live. I don't appear to be getting continuity on the neutral. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Switched on then. And I'm getting it across the live. I'm getting it across the neutral, yes. So then it looks like we're into the motor. So I'll take out the remaining 3 screws on the other side of this and see what it looks like. I'm just going fishing here. I don't really know why this thing's been discarded. If we're getting power to those switches and we're getting continuity across them, just see what the motor looks like. Could be brushes, could be nothing. Didn't blow a fuse when I plugged it in. So we really have no idea what we're dealing with. No symptoms, nothing happened. I just found it discarded with the hose attached but none of its accessories. There's a magnet. Take that out now. Which way up do we want to be? Let's try it this way. There it is. Oh, that motor looks a bit... There's a bit of moisture in there, I'd say. Oh, that motor looks a bit ropey. Be interesting to see if we can get this one moving. Right, so it's not live. It's not connected in any way. I'll put my gloves on, just because it looks dirty. I'll hike this motor out. This one has a high-low switch, and that circuit board looks... I'm going to say it looks okay. Let's have a look at it. It looks like it's a bit been damp in the past. It's a green or red. It's a very simple circuit board, that. Don't know what to say about that. It doesn't look blown. Doesn't mean it's working. That motor's got a lot of corrosion on it. Oh, these things always make me... Oh, it's all kind of gluey or something. That's a bit weird. It's all kind of gone crispy. See there? Like there was varnish or something sucked through it, maybe. Doesn't make sense. Bit of dust there. Right. It is spinning. Yeah, look at this weird stuff here. It smells sweet, like sugar or something. Very strange. Brushes, the commutator ring looks a bit dirty there. I could just try energizing that. Put a live wire on it, see what happens. There's a little overheat job there. Let's test it for continuity. Got a fly buzzing around behind me. Yeah, there's no continuity there on that motor, which suggests that it's got something wrong with it. It will be interesting to know what went wrong with it. Like, it looks like sugar or something there. And brushes are seized. That's probably what's wrong with that one. You can see there. Can we see there? We can see there the brush has gone all furry and mushy. Let's just try and poke it a little bit. Brush has gone to softness. Look, you can just dig into it there with the screwdriver, so that's no good. This one's no good. But if I combine this motor with one that I have inside, it might make a better machine later on. I could clean up this one if the bearings are alright in it, because this one wasn't seized. That side looks better, you know. Yeah. It's quite soft, but it's still seized. New brushes. There's a way of getting these out, I think. But that's the long and the short of it. Oh, it's going back in. That one's completely seized, the one that's really soft, but the other one's, oh no, it's squeezing back in as well. Okay. I was trying to push out, there it is, it's back up. But that ain't right. Whatever it was, that commutator ring needs a bit of a clean up. There you go, exciting times. Wonder what it was. Something sugary poured in. Very strange. Short answer is, I don't know. So this is the motor out of that Henry, and I've taken the brushes off it already, but I need to make a little wiring diagram so I can remember how to put it back together. I've taken some photographs of it, but that won't help me. I don't really have the patience to go through photographs and try and figure out what's going on. So, lamb is the name there, so it's got this shape, circle, an X, and lamb. That's on the grid. Then there's brush. And on this side is brush. Okay, and there's 4 connectors. 1, 2. Not showing you that very clearly, am I? 3 and 4. So this one here. This one has 2 connectors in it. This one here has 1 again. So this one over here goes to the brush. this one over here goes to the brush. And this one over here goes into this red little heat pack thing. Don't know what that is, but that's where it goes. Red thing, that's how you call it. And up here then it says OK, so that I line up lamb and OK later on. And I've just got to hit it with a hammer. There was 2 screws in here, one down here and one down here, that were holding this silver bit and the motor body. And what I might try and do, I don't know if it's too late now, get something on there. Looks like a 12 or a 13. I'm not sure how I'm going to get that off actually. I don't know if I actually need to. I'd rather just get this bearing out at the top, although it seems like a good idea. Trying to loosen these tabs around here and here and all, I loosen them and then the plastic behind just disintegrates. I think it's some cleaning product or something that's gone in there and set, like someone poured a bottle of air freshener or some other cleaning product in there, I don't know. It's pretty yuck. Quite a fresh flavour. There's a bolt out of a washing machine. Try and do this with 1 or 2 hands. Is that coming down? No. Okay. Moving at all? Doesn't appear to be. There's a bearing in there. It should just tap out, but well, it isn't. This thing, the whole thing stinks really strong of like dog and air freshener. It's pretty strange, I've got to say. What am I trying to achieve? I want to get this out for some reason. Go. So there's a little spring washer in there. To lose that, give this a bath. Give this a bath. Give this a bath. There's another bearing in there. The bearings in it feel fine, you see. Yeah, they feel pretty good. Like that commutator ring has no wear on it at all. It's just got some black from where the brushes were dud. So I think this whole thing is probably fine with some new brushes. Oh, there's a washer as well. Okay. Doesn't want to come off. I'll try and give it all a bath as it is. So there it is. It's in the bath. Hot water. Washing up liquid. People say electrics and water don't mix. I've made a video of me putting my hand in a bucket of water that had an electric motor running in it on live electricity. Not like a battery motor or anything like that. A proper washing machine motor running off AC. Slightly reduced voltage, but it's definitely in there. And I'm still here. I guess it would have been a worthwhile experiment to test the continuity on this before I did this washing. But I didn't. think that's some kind of a little heat sensor thing in there. An overload thermal protector or something, and I think you can get them again if it's blown. I'll give it a rinse off in some clean warm water, and then what I'll do is I'll put this beside the oven for a few days, let it dry out. There's that ring, give it a wash. Okay. This I'm not so sure about. I don't really want water going into the fan because I don't think there's any problem with the fan. But I would like to give this end a bit of a rinse and up around here, so I need to do it quite carefully, I think. Carefully. What I'm hoping is that one of the brushes that I have from another machine will fit into the brush holders that I have. Look at this, it's like sugary kind of gummy gel. I don't know what it is. It's a sealed bearing, so up to a point it should be okay. Probably not this point. And look, there's rust in there as well, so it's obviously been worked at some point in the past, a bit beyond what it was intended for. Moisture wise. So I've got this in my hand, and if I need to I'll put it in the vise. Well, I don't. What I'm hoping will happen here is that I can tap that through. So that's the end of the shaft there. And then that fan just is what it is in there. There's another washer stuck in there. A few washers in there, that's probably not the best way to do it. And maybe I can separate. It feels like it's all sugary. It's so weird. So there's that fan, and then there's a couple of layers of yeah, so can I split this up somehow? So it's cracked the seal somewhat. Made a bit of a dog's dinner of it over here, but we're in. Really, I want to get a screwdriver in there, but there's not enough space yet. I don't want to wreck. Well, I think this plastic's just going to pop off, you see, if I get a screwdriver in there. But if that's what needs to happen, then that's what needs to happen. It's very hard to hold the black bit. If there's an easier way to do this, let me know in the comments, because I am obviously not an expert. There, it's come on a bit. It's come on a bit that time. See, if you put the screwdriver in, it just pops off. I've kind of wobbled the edges a bit there. That's not helping, I'd say. Sliced my finger, but not too bad. Just the skin. Whatever way I'm hammering this side, it's just creeping back up. Just broken off a load of that stuff in there, and I know that that's not great, you know. Just getting hooked on that, that's no good at all. Oh, it's moving it. Down as far as I can get it to go. No. It's a lot more. Okay. If I can hold a screwdriver somehow in there. Like that. It's moved it a wee tiny bit. This one here is not looking too good. It's not far to go. Very strange stuff, this plastic. It just kind of turns to a fibrous dust. We've moved it about 3/16 of an inch, 4 or 5 millimeters. Yeah, it's more. Okay. There it is. Okay. So you've got a piece of tin there, then a washer, then the fan blade, then another washer, then a spacer. Oh, I don't know if that's right. Oh, Jesus, this is complicated, hey? Yeah, I guess that's it. Right. There's 2 fans on it. Let's bring it over to the tap, get it tidied up. You don't need to see that bit. Okay, today is tomorrow, and I've left everything to dry after washing it underwater, and you know, it's better than before. Still smells. I can't tell. I think it's a cleaning product or something. Something gross. And I'm going to try and remember how this went back together. I didn't show all of the taking apart of it. So this is one of the impeller blades in here. One of the impeller, yeah, it's a blade. It has this washer and this nut on it. And then there's this spacer. I'm going to try and do all this correctly. And then this washer. And then this blade. I wonder, should I put something up through it? I think so. Something that fits might be an idea. Trying to line that up where it was. It's about right. I just have to press it in by hand, I guess. Have I done it right? Have I forgotten something? Who knows? 1, 2, 3. No. Yeah, just press it in by hand. Okay. Right, I'm pretty sure I have that blade in the wrong way around because this won't spin. Do I? Yeah, it's being pressed hard up against the shell. So I've got to pull this apart somehow. Okay. Oh, it's not going to want to come. Oh dear. Balls. Right, took a pair of gloves and a lot more hammering. I just destroyed more of this plastic thing. But it is what it is now. I'm guessing this one has to be the other way around. So, that there. This one in here. Let's put this little nail back in. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it out. that in there. What did I decide? This one had to be this way up, did it? Yeah. Then this one. If I'd done it right, I would have done this at the beginning. Now, let's have a look at this. This thing becomes loose because I've beaten it so hard. So, it's just held on with these little nails, and I've only got 3. For some reason, one of them disappeared. And let's just try and screw in something that's not meant to fit, will we? Oh dear. Yeah, let's try that. A little torquey. It should clear it. Do you have any more of those? Not likely. Well, that's it done. Okay, so then this goes in. Oh, am I gonna hit it again? Right, where does it go? Absolute mess. Look at that. The edges are all chewed off it. Right. It'll go on with your hand pressure, but it won't. So, that's that one. That's that one. That's it. It won't come apart now, I hope. Famous last words. Did that spring washer go in here? I guess so. Now, this bearing. Oh no, I don't think it did. I think it went at the other end. Because there's a rubber packer on this side. I think it went up on the top end. This bearing feels okay. This one, depends on how it might be okay. We'll know when we run it. How about that? So now, I've just swapped this out bit by bit. That's it. Now in you go. Oh, what's he done? What have I forgotten? Maybe nothing. I think this just goes on there and that covers the thing. I hope so. Okay. On this side it's just a washer and a nut. And it was so easy to get off. One direction. Let's put it in the vise. Okay, that's better than it was before. And then this goes on. Now I'm guessing one way was up and one way was down, but I don't know that it matters on this part. What's it getting stuck on? Oh, I guess it goes that way then. It has to go that way because it won't go the other way. So perhaps They go on that way because they have to. So then that goes on that way because it has to. Okay. Is this it? It seems quite simple putting it back together. Put that little spring in there, little weird pressure spring. It's this way around. Not that I think it matters. I'm sure that's not good for the plastic, but that's it together. Come out. Now, that's going to make a hell of a lot of noise when I start it up again. Something in there is not right. What is it? I wonder if it's rubbing off that screw that I put in, or if it's one of the nails that's come loose. I guess what I could do is just fire it up and see. So, the brushes anyways, this is me wasting my time. I gave them a wash and they sprung out. They're completely chewed up, but they should wear down quite quickly because there's not much there. So what I thought was I'd give them a bit of a go on some sandpaper or a file to clean them back flat. That one's probably fine because it's okay. See, but this one, it's all chewed up. They look to be the same size as Bosch brushes, but you have to get them out of that little receiver first. They don't cost much, the way these things normally go. I wonder if it'll just go as it is now that I've done something inside to knacker that. Why is that not going on there? Now that I've done something inside to knacker that fan blade, which is really frustrating. Why do these not want to click in? That's it. going to be like an air raid siren. That's my guess. Like, even if I just get it turning, I'll have learned a lot about these motors. How about looking at it that way? Oh, why is it just going on this time? Silly. How to get them apart, how to put them back together. Like, I would say never take them apart, especially since I've tried on that other one from the yellow Henry, and it wouldn't, I didn't see that I could take it apart without absolutely annihilating it. These are quite powerful motors, vacuum cleaner motors go nowadays. Now we're down to 750 watts or 400 watts or I don't know, some other small number. These are pretty powerful. What I'm going to do is bring the variac in, power it up on the variac, gently, just hold it in the vise and see what happens. It is nighttime, so I'll wake everyone. Get the variac. Okay, broadly speaking, I've got it set up through a variac, just powering it. So, I've got a dead man's floor switch on as well. So it's live now, so all this is live. Bring it up a few. That's only 60. Power off. Little hair getting stuck out there. Okay, so initially there was a bit of a rattle. See, there's a dead man switch on the floor here that you can't see. So it's live again. So even with those cheesed out brushes, it's just spinning quite happily there. 20 watts. There's a little breeze blowing off it. There's a little breeze blowing off it and it smells a little bit, but I'm happy enough with that. Whatever was rattling in there seems to have centrifuged itself to stop being a problem, which suits me fine. Tidy it up and start putting it back together, I guess. Excellent. Right, bear in mind that I have no idea what I'm doing. As usual on these adventures. So somewhere here, these wires have to go through. There's one. There's two. And these ones are the motor wires. They've got to come in as well. Okay, looking good so far. I'm going to have a guess that these will only go to where they're meant to go. So, click, and click. That's that. And then there's this plastic thing. Snaps in the bottom. And then there's this one, gathers the motor. It went like that. And this one takes the motor. Even with those sketchy brushes, still does it. Don't remember which way around these went, guessing. It doesn't matter. There we go. I'll chuck those wires in there. And there's a rubber ring somewhere. There it is. Goes like that. And there's this thing. Guessing this goes this way. I'm guessing. And then there's this one. I can only guess those bits went that way, and so went like this, perhaps. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Somehow we have to jiggle that into place. Rubber ring. Slider handles. Is that right? Or is that right? I think it's that way. I've put my fingers in the grease. Yuck. Oh, it's popped out, that's why. There it is, okay. Try again. Yeah, little by little. Maybe I'll get there eventually. Upside down, I think. Yeah, because that directs the airflow down there. So then to get this on, I need to somehow put it on first. Somehow. Like that, I guess. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, then this one. And then this one. That's looking better. Right. Flip it up. Which way do they go? I'm guessing they go that way. Likewise. Where would the screws for this have gone? Found the screws. And there's this reel. So if I put in the first 3 screws on the inside, then I'll do the little cover. It covers the switches. Okay, then I can drop this. Oh no, do the switches first. Little cover goes on there, like that. Then this top goes on. Now what I haven't checked and can't see anymore is the how could I check it? The high-low control thing. I'm going to take it all apart again. It's in there somewhere. Will it just be okay? Probably. The plan is, if this works, I'm going to take this one all apart again and put the motor from my now blue Henry, which I know is a good motor with no high-low, into this one, which has a high-low, sell this one, and use this dud motor in my one that doesn't have a high-low anymore. So I don't actually care. This is just me testing it. This is not the way it's going to stay. Drop that thing in there. Rest this here. Why is that wet? Make sure that's in place. Turn it upside down again. I probably don't need to put on, no I do, to get the power to the contacts. Just to keep this video contemporary, this is what I'm doing. Retreat to my cellar to play with the vacuum cleaners that have built up in storage, and then spend a couple of hours reliving my life. There you have it. Doesn't get much more exciting than that. Okay, will it work? I sure hope so. 3 out of 4. 4 out of 4. I kind of like Henrys. They're all pretty much the same. Pretty straightforward. Pretty robust. It's plugged in, on. That motor is in a bad way. and it is what it is. I'm not too worried about it because, like I say, I've got a better motor to put into this one to make it good to sell it. I don't mind listening to that in the workshop, and I'll know what's wrong with it. So it's basically just this rotational or rotating set of parts that goes around. As it stands, I'm happy with that. I've learned a little bit about those motors. What I've learned is they ain't worth taking apart. But if you've got time in your hands, as some of us do at the moment, go for it. Maybe you learned something too. Maybe I've left out a huge bit of the footage of doing some of these things because it wasn't particularly interesting, but tell me about it in the comments, or tell me what I've missed in the comments. And shouts out to Tommy. Thanks for watching. See you later.